Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make a pot of bean soup that tastes just like a chicken pot pie. When you take a bite, you're like, wow, that tastes just like a chicken pot pie. That's my goal. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to start chopping and we'll see how it goes. I ate a chicken pot pie last night, like the microwave kind, like a Marie Callender's microwave chicken pot pie. Because I was thinking, like, what are the flavors going to be? You know, what like spices am I going to be able to taste? It was just salt and chicken. So what I'm hoping for is like a creamy, rich white bean soup where when you take a bite of it, you go, wow, that tastes just like a chicken pot pie. So to accomplish that, what I did is I Googled like chicken pot pie recipes and kind of the, what's the word for it? Like the thing that ran throughout all of them was onion, celery, carrot, peas, the chicken broth, and then seasonings. And there was usually flour, and there was usually like milk or cream. Sometimes there was white wine. Um, the seasonings, though, it was like some had no seasoning, like just salt and pepper. Some had like a bunch of seasonings, but some that I saw kind of that popped up a few times was like celery seed and thyme. So I'm going to use fresh thyme and some celery seed, and hopefully that'll help. So my thoughts are onion, celery, garlic, and some butter. Let that go. And then I'm going to add salt, pepper, thyme, and celery seed. Zhuzh that up. And then I'm thinking I'll go ahead and put in flour at that point, maybe a little bit more butter. And then I'm going to add my beans. I'll put in chicken broth. Um, and then I will do the peas and the carrots. And then I think I can't figure out when I want to add the cream. Like if I want to add it at the beginning when I'm kind of making the roux type situation with the flour, or if I'm going to do it like more towards the end. Oh, and I'm going to put potatoes in it, because there's nothing better than that. My thought is that that will get me semi close. What I'm worried about is I don't really have an acid. If anything, I feel like vinegar is going to be the best bet. I think white wine would be the best bet. I just don't have any. But if you're doing this like in your house, if anybody's watching this, I think I would do white wine, probably after the flour, but before the broth. I was actually gonna do it like all vegetarian with the veggie broth, but then when I ate that chicken pot pie last night, I was like, oh, this is chicken. Like it's almost like when you get like instant ramen that's like just chicken flavor. That's like what it was. I'm gonna chop up some celery. My eyes have not crying so hard from the onions. This much, but I'm gonna chop off some. So all of this started because my wonderful mother made me a bean-based soup when I was pretty freshly postpartum. It was just like a white bean soup with like, I think there was some kind of a green in it. We all took one bite of it and we were like, holy cow, it's school pizza. There was no cheese in it. I don't think there was a tomato product in it. There's certainly no bread anywhere. But when you when you had a spoonful, you were like, oh my gosh. I kind of had a thought. I was like, if this white bean soup tastes just like school pizza, I thought, what else? What else could I make from beans that tastes like something else, but still be delicious? I'm gonna put some butter in this pot, and I'm gonna put the onions and the celery into it. The celery and the onions are in. They're gonna hang out for a minute, and I'm gonna go ahead and prep the garlic and then the spices, um, and then the beans, I guess. What I'm waiting for is for the onions to like start to get a little bit golden at the edges, and that's when I'll put in the garlic because the garlic doesn't take nearly as long. I am a fan of canned beans. I think they get a lot of hate. I think as long as you rinse them really well, that they're fine. I'm going to use 2 cans of navy beans and 1 can of cannellini beans. I find that 3 cans of beans is pretty good for a bean-based soup if there's not that many people eating it. It's easy to double. I don't know. This part is where I get a little bit stressed out because it's like actively cooking and I want to time it well. I'm going to go ahead and rinse these beans. So here's the cannellini beans. Here, I'll show you. Um, Look, they're pretty big, and then I'm gonna go get the navy beans. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but these are a lot smaller. I'm gonna put in garlic, thyme, celery seeds, salt, and pepper right now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add the flour. It's gonna happen really fast. I'm probably gonna add more butter in with the flour too. Here's what I've done. I feel like I kind of ruined it. but it's going to be fine. But I put in salt, pepper, the garlic, the thyme, the celery seed. It smelled really good with the thyme, and then when I added the celery seed, it smelled so weird. But anyway, I added some flour and some more butter, and you can see it's like kind of gross looking, and then I'm definitely like sticking on the bottom. So that'll come up really easy though when I add the chicken broth, which I'm going to add next. The beans have to go in. I'm going to put in the beans. The water's in. I'm going to kind of raise the heat a little bit, and I'm going to raise it up to probably high. I'm going to deglaze the bottom, and then I'm going to add the better than bouillon. Then while that's coming to a boil, I'm going to prep the potatoes because I almost forgot them. Oh, and the peas and carrots. Okay. After the potatoes go in, I'll also put in the peas and carrots. It smells like a chicken pot pie. I have hope. This is what I'm going to use. I'm just going to put like a big old spoonful in this. I'm assuming there's like 6 cups of water in here, so that should technically be like 6 teaspoons. But I'm just going to put like a couple of big giant scoops, and we'll see. I don't even know if you get potato in a chicken pot pie, but if you don't, you should. Like, that would be really good. My eyes are watering again. Do potatoes do that too? These pieces are so much bigger than bite size, but I kind of think about it as like one of the big beans. Maybe I want it to be a little bigger than one of the big beans. I'm going to get these in, and then I'm going to get in the peas and carrots, and then I'm going to make the puff pastry, and we'll be good. It's boiling now. It's really cute. I'll show you. It's really boiling now, so I'm going to go ahead and add the potatoes. Then I'm going to add the peas and carrots, and just kind of let it cook for a little bit while I do the puff pastry. Peas and carrots are in, our potatoes are in, and now I'm going to put it back on high because I want to bring it back to a boil. And I'm just going to let it cook. You can see everything, kind of what it looks like. It's not like super appetizing right now, I think, especially because the beans are almost like pinkish, and that looks a little gross to me. But I think it will be more appetizing once the cream is in there and it's reduced down a little bit and it's like a little thicker. And I'm also hoping that the beans will start to break down a little bit too. I think that would be helpful. I have a third of a sheet of puff pastry here. I'm going to cut it into thirds. I'm going to bake it in my little convection oven at 400, and I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I've reduced this to a simmer. I'm going to get ready to do the cream in just a minute. So I'm trying to let it really cook down. I just kind of am scraping the bottom, and I am going to go ahead and salt and pepper again. That's probably too much salt. Really just trying to let those potatoes cook. I think everything else is kind of coming along. I just pulled out the puff pastry. I'm going to plate that, and then I'm going to test a potato to see how it is. So I just made 3 little squares. Let me see. Can you see that? To kind of give the like pie crust experience. Now let's test a potato. I grab a bigger piece, and no, I mean it went through pretty easy, but it's not as like tender as I want it to be. 5 more minutes. I'll check back in on the potatoes, and then hopefully they'll be ready and I can add the cream and see how it is. I guess my audio cut out here, but what I think I'm doing is testing a potato to see if it's ready, and then if it is, I'm going to go ahead and add the heavy cream. Okay, so I'm picking up a potato, and oh my gosh, the fork went through so much easier. It's definitely much more ready and much more fork tender than it was just a minute ago when I had checked. Okay, at this point, I am turning off the heat, and I'm going to add the heavy whipping cream. Here it goes. Isn't that so cute? I love how that looks. Guess what? My audio cut out again. I guess like the whole end of me recording it. But look how good it looks. It looks amazing, and I am clearly very excited to try it. And it's very cute with the puff pastry in there, and the whole thing ended up looking not very gross at all and actually really good. And guess what? It tastes like a chicken pot pie.
And I'm sorry that my words aren't lining up with what I'm clearly saying in the video. If anybody is good at lip reading and can help me just kind of redo this little part, I will. But this is my genuine reaction, tasting it for the first time, and it really did taste like chicken pot pie. It was shocking. It was a delicious bean-based soup, and I highly recommend that you make it at home if you like chicken pot pie and beans. But it was a lot of fun, and thank you for watching if you are watching this.